Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Catchup. And today I'm interviewing Dwayne Vaz. I think I've seen him. The last time I saw him was probably 20 years ago. When is the last time we sat down? When is the last time we will see each other in the same vicinity? More than 20 years, probably.
I think probably 20 years.
Probably
as I left Manning's sixth form 99, and you were a year ahead of me at school.
Yes, I was. So I graduated 1996.
Yeah,
so you were in the 95 year group, then you did 2 years at Manning's.
Yeah.
What color were you? 5 what? 5
Crimson.
green, 5 crimson.
Crimson.
Why? So your current location is in Jamaica, in Westmoreland here.
Yes, I'm still living in Westmoreland. Still living close to where Manning's is. Actually, I'm living in Farm Pen now.
Yes.
Yes, and that's a part of the constituents that I represent.
How did you get into politics?
Well, politics started through my first employer. That was the Social Development Commission. What happened within hotel management at UWI. But my year group that graduated 2002 had issues getting jobs because of the September 11 bombing in the United States, which was the year before. So most of us had to start looking jobs outside of the industry.
Yes.
And I've never worked in a hotel apart from internships. So I actually started working outside of the hotel, doing community work with SDC, and I was a community development officer. So by doing that, I started liking representing people. Then I already had some form of connection to the People's National Party through family.
Yes.
And based on the persons who I was working with at the time, they were closely involved in the politics, and they asked me to come join the youth organization. So I joined the youth organization in 2003, became the constituency rep, then the parish rep, and then it just continued from there until I'm where I am today. So that's
And
how politics
for everybody
started.
who is in the US, because now you're currently living?
Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, which is
And
one of 63 constituencies in Jamaica.
And one of the most populated, isn't it not?
It is based on the voters list. It's
Yes.
the largest number. So it will be the largest constituency based on the registered voters.
And it's a tough area.
It is, and remember, it's a mix of rural and urban.
Yes.
Because Sav is as urban as it can get.
Right.
And you have a lot of rural areas. So you have different needs at different times. You have to be flexible. You have to understand that different persons have different requirements of you. So you just have to find a way to
scared?
balance it out.
You know, intimidating at times, crippling sometimes, or overwhelming.
Well, no, I think I knew what I was getting myself
Okay.
into. It wasn't like when I came in as MP, it was new to me because I worked closely with the 2 former members of Parliament. I started working with Dr. Blythe while I was in the youth organization.
Okay.
And then after he resigned, Roger Clark came down here,
Yes.
who is also a former student of this noble institution. And I started working closely with Roger.
So you were prepared for this?
I was prepared. So I was working with him. I was actually thinking I would think of running for Member of Parliament now. Because if Roger was still alive, I know he would be the MP up to today.
Yes.
But you don't know the reasons why things happen.
Yes.
Sadly, he passed away, and that vacancy was open. And because I considered myself as the person who should be next from that time, I jumped into the ring. We had a selection, then I've had 2 elections after that, and I'm here now sitting with you, being the MP for 4.5 years.
My
in Central
goodness.
Westmoreland.
What do you enjoy the most?
Well, as I said, I like representing people.
You like it?
I like representing people.
But
I'm
people
a
then-
people person from
People,
ever since.
people, so people, 1 minute they love you, 1 minute they cuss you, 1 minute like.
Well, that's what you have to understand. With
Yes.
politics. Somebody cussing you doesn't necessarily mean they don't like you.
Ah.
There are some who genuinely don't like you, don't get me wrong. But you have people who will cuss you because they just want your attention and wanted to know what is happening.
All right.
A lot of communities you'll walk in, persons who are supporters of me and my
Right.
party, will walk in and they get a good cussing for the first half an hour while they're there. And just by listening to the views, then everybody warms up to you and we start having the conversation that we came to have. But people are like that. Everybody express themselves in different ways. Because you have to understand people. And I think from ever since going to school, I've always been one who understands people. That's why probably my friends used to always come to me for advice to tell me them business. I'm always one of them who is the go-to person to talk to.
Understood.
So I think it has always been in my nature.
Interesting.
So it was a smooth transition for me doing a job like this.
You feel like
But
you are built for this.
I feel so. But I know the thing that the realities are that it's an ungrateful profession. It's a demanding
You
profession.
say it nicely,
so no
but
matter what you do,
yes,
you'll be criticized. And
yes,
no matter what you do, people will move on to the next problem.
yes.
So if you're going to a community and fix a road,
Right.
if the light is not proper when the road finish,
You start
then
complaining
move
about
on
the
to the
lights.
light and start first. So before even telling the thanks for the road. But even though you know they are appreciative of it, but not everybody will say that to you publicly. But some do. And you have those few who still say thanks and they keep you going. When you so probably might feel disheartened at times.
Yes.
But generally speaking, as I said, it's something I like doing. So I have no problems.
When you talk
dealing
about
with
it, it's like there's this quiet knowing. That's a feeling and the energy that I get from you. That is just knowing and this confidence that this is it. This is you are meant to do this and you enjoy it.
Well, I said different things happen for different reasons in life. As I said, probably if I'd gotten a job in the hotel industry, I wouldn't be here today as the MP. But I think everything happens for a reason. And even though I didn't understand it then why I would be working at doing community development when I did hotel management at school. Now when I look back, you realize that these things just happen because they have a special calling. And I think my calling is really to do representational politics. So
as you can see, I'm still on the first card. But just because of who you are, it's like this interview is taking a different direction than a typical catch-up. But my audience can understand. Big up Mr. Bruce Moasio.
A farm teacher and second farm.
Oh my goodness. So if you should get perfect world, you get whatever you want, unlimited resources, and you could accomplish something for your constituency. What's the most important thing?
The biggest cry in Central Westmoreland is roads.
Yes.
And as I realize now, we're doing the Ferris to Macfield Road.
Yes, I saw.
Which is a major road. But there are many other major roads that need full rehabilitation. For example, South to Frome.
Right.
And for example, Hardford going up to Williamsfield, all of those roads. So if I should get unlimited resources, I would fix every single main road, and I would also fix every single community road because I don't like seeing mall roads in the communities. So I would fix every single community road and also ensure that proper lighting and drainage is in place for every single community, because I think for us to have a first-class constituency, we need to have all these basic amenities that people vote for in place, and that's road, light, and water. The three major concerns that everybody has are those things. So if you can fix those things, then I can start thinking of other
things. But those are foundational things.
But those are the foundational things that we have to continue lobbying for until we get them. And I tell people all the time, the job of a member of parliament is to lobby for the resources. I think how people perceive an MP though is a lot more than what is in the job description, because persons actually think they can solve every single problem that they have personally and in the community.
Yes.
So you will have, I think every request they can ever think of has been already made, and you have to explain to persons what can be done and what cannot be done. So one of the major challenges I find also is communicating with persons to let them understand what can be done now, what can be done later, what cannot be done any at all through government resources. So we really always have to keep that communication open with the people.
Do you get more resources because you have more voters?
No,
you don't.
And that is
You want to repeat that one more time?
We don't. That is something we have been lobbying for. There is something called a Constituency Development Fund that every member of parliament gets $20 million for the year. That's just the basic things. And if you really think about it, $20 million cannot do, for example, a major road. So you cannot think about fixing the road with that money. That is the money used for housing assistance, welfare, sports, all those little things, education. When we assist with, we use it from that. But what I think was a good intention initially, it was intended to make it equal for all MPs. However, yes, it is equal for all MPs, but it is not equal for all constituencies. And it is not equal for each constituent. So for example, there are constituencies with 19 and 20,000 people. I have a constituency with 43,000 registered voters.
Wow.
And we still get the same 20 million. So it is unfair. So it is really made to be equal, but it is actually unequal.
Understood.
So I've been arguing for that, but you have to remember, arguing for something like that, even persons on my side wouldn't necessarily agree with me because they have smaller constituencies. So sometimes I'm like a lone voice in the wilderness, really arguing for something like that. I've made proposals to do it on a tier system where you have first tier, second tier, third tier constituencies based on the sizes.
Right.
And then proportion the funds like
accordingly,
that. But as I said, it's still
and it's a big change
falling on deaf ears. But I will still continue to speak about it until
It becomes
something is
reality,
done about it, and it becomes
or at least
reality.
improve from the current state.
Exactly.
We'll see. So now we go back to catch up. What do you do for fun? What are your hobbies?
Well, football used to be one, but I haven't been engaging much in playing football in a while, based on the time. But I love watching football.
Okay.
That's a hobby of mine.
That's it.
Apart from that, it's surfing the internet, trying to read and keep up with current affairs.
Things
And I
change
think
so fast.
Speaking to my friends and acquaintances, I try to keep conversations and connections at all times. People will tell you about my friends that I had at Manning's and my friends I used to walk with.
Yes.
We're still very close. If you see me in Kingston, you'll see me one of my friends I used to be here with. If you see me on the road, even at the Manning's thing Friday night,
Yes.
all three of them we used to walk directly, were with me that day. So we still keep that connection. So talking to my friends is another hobby
Yes.
that I have.
Does it
But,
keep you grounded too?
It does, because even the other day when we were at the Manning's reunion thing, and we were thinking about how long ago we were actually coming to Manning's, looking at where we are now in life, and still, yes, all of us, there are a lot of things more that we have wanted to achieve. But as I said, I think everything happens in the time that it should happen. So it keeps you to understand when you see certain person's achievement, to make you know that you still can achieve more.
Yes.
Because all of you are in the same age group, and I hope others will look at it like that. Some people will envy others, but I hope that persons will look at everybody and try to be motivated by it, and use their experiences as something that you can move forward on, so you can achieve a similar level of success moving forward. So it does.
Any time for immediate family? Have kids?
I have 2 sons.
2 sons, married?
No, I'm not married.
All right.
I'm not married. So I'm still single in case anybody's watching that. It's interesting.
What are you looking for? No, seriously, I'm married now for 17 years, and I am so serious. Like, what is important to you in a life partner? Because what your journey that you're gonna walk on, that woman is gotta have to. You gotta tell me, man. So tell me what is important to you in a life partner based on the dreams that you have and what you want to realize.
Well, I think the basic things most people look for would be natural, that everybody looks for, like trust, honesty, tolerance. The person has to understand you and understand the job that you do, because my job takes me all over the country.
Demanding is an understatement.
Exactly.
You belong to the people.
I belong to the people, so you have to understand that probably our life won't be as private as you want it to be.
Right.
But naturally, I said somebody who you definitely have that level of trust, and the honesty has to be there. Somebody who is easy to talk to, you know. But I think there's no rush as in to go out of my way to find it. I think, as I said, life has its natural courses, and
you're open to the flow of whenever the timing and when it's to be.
Happens. I'm still fairly young, I think. So I'll just.
Just like you know, you look like a baby still.
Well, I'm 38.
You don't look it. So that's something that you know. Yes. And it's a long time. You always look much younger than you are.
Well, that's a good thing, and I hope I'm 50.
You'll play to your advantage.
I look 38.
We're gonna go back to your Manning school days. Who was your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher at Manning.
You wanna get 2 marks if you have a tie or something.
One is definitely Mr. Allen, who taught me accounting and management studies in 6th form.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember him.
I think Miss Taylor, who was my farm teacher in 3rd form.
Okay.
It was really nice, and she defended me in some issues that I had, remember, one time.
Understood.
So I think those 2. But I really enjoyed all my teachers, to be honest with you. I was always a student who, no, I wasn't a teacher's pet, but
okay.
It was a problem because I talked a lot. So I wasn't the most model student at Manning. I remember in 6th form when they were choosing prefects, and I was one of the small number of students who did not
get the prefect
badge. I remember that clearly. Actually, my entire crew that I used to hang with, I think only one person out of that entire batch
got the prefect.
Got prefect. So at the time, I think we were misunderstood. That's how I look at it. And when I think back at it, I even refer to some of my former teachers. I said, I've always considered myself as a leader. Probably I was leading in the wrong things at the time, you know. So they didn't consider us as students who
Or influencing in a positive way that
were
they wanted us
influenced in a
to.
positive way. They wanted us to.
But the skill was still there.
The skill was there, you know.
Just misplaced at the time. What about subject? Favorite subject?
Favorite subject at Manning's, I think it was accounts.
Yes.
I loved accounts especially in CXC.
Yes.
When I went to sixth form, I couldn't believe it was the same accounts. It was so much harder in A levels, but I still loved it, and I loved management of business also while I was in sixth form. But during like fourth and fifth form, our year group, Manning's had done an experiment at the time that they only did it in my year group and went back to the original system after. If you remember in your year, you had like a science class. And
Oh, I remember Donald Drummond told me you could pick whatever you want in your year
so my year group.
It only lasted 1 year?
Only lasted 1 year. They went back to the original system.
Didn't
And I think it needed time to work. You can't try something in 1 year and expect it's going to flow naturally. But I think if it was guided properly, it would have worked. I think what happened that they just left us to choose the subjects they wanted. So people chose subjects all over the place.
They still needed some guidance.
Yeah,
they went from one extreme to the next. Rigid, then whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for example, I did everything. I did history, which would be art. I did accounting and POB. I did biology. So I was all over
very
the place. Yeah.
Donald Drummond told me.
Yeah, man.
Interesting.
That was an experiment, but it didn't continue. So but what it made our year group to the people was kind of closer though.
Yes.
Because instead of just being in a farm class, you were mixing with the entire
year group, not just staying in your form.
So for example, if you're in bio class, every fifth form or fourth form is represented in a bio class. So you have a link with everybody. So it caused a closer knit.
Understood.
In that year group I graduated in 1997.
I can see that. So what about memories? What's your favorite memories of Manning's? Can you think of any?
Well,
that make you laugh or?
I have good and bad memories that make me laugh.
You have bad memories that make you laugh?
I have to laugh about
when you look back now?
When you think about it. And that's why I said I remember Miss Taylor who defended me throughout that bad memory. I won't repeat it on
camera. No problem.
But based on that memory, based on the result of it was probably me getting, I think I was the first student to get a caning from Mr. White when he just came. That was it. Just went into third.
They still allowed caning that time?
Yeah, he brought that when he came in.
that memory.
But the good thing about it, I think they were worn out from his days at Monroe, so it wasn't as terrifying as I thought it would have been. But it was either that or a suspension, and that shows that by looking at them, I decided to go that way. But I have a lot of good memories, though, especially from 5th to 6th form.
Yes. Who's your group? Who's your parent group?
The group I hang
out with.
You have Derek Garden, you have Sarna Brown, there is Civil Martin, there was a Dwight Bremer, you know. Quite a few of us, man. Girls, Kimberly Dell.
Yes.
Lataya Wright, you know Lataya.
Yes.
Renee, Casey, Marsha Gay Gooden, Nackia Stewart. It was a large group of us. Takisha Owens, Tanisha Reed. It was a big crew. The men were used to refer to as the under tree crew, and the girls were referred to as the hotel rock crew because they used to hang out in the auditorium. Miss Clark was livid one day and asked them if they think it's a hotel.
Oh.
So they would call them hotel rock. And we used to be under the tree every day. So
loving action.
Up the under tree crew. So most and somebody from your originally your year group, but because he repeated 5th form, he came in our 6th form group. That's Jehoram Maka.
Yes.
That's J.
Yes.
They call him JQ. He was part of our group too. Was part of the life of the group. You know, him always giving joke and thing. And we used to hang with a lot of upper 5th farmers, they used to call themselves.
Yes, they repeat, but they call it upper 5th.
They call them upper 5th.
Yes.
So they used to hang with us too. Like Donald was a part of that.
Donald was a part of the upper 5th crew.
Before he came into.
Yeah, this upper 5th thing, I didn't even know it existed until I did catch up.
So there's a lot of them, man. So it was a big syndicate of us that used to hang out. So that's why I think the issues came up. Because as I said, it was dubbed that you're influencing lower school students in wrongdoing. So, but most of the fun really came from that group. And we had a lot of fun over here. So even though we did not get the prefect badge, I think when you look at the response we used to get from the students in lower school, you could know that they used to look up to us with a certain level of respect and things. So we always used to try to keep that level going. We used to try to guide them as much as possible.
Understood.
But sometimes guidance can be taken the wrong way. So if they see you talking to a couple lower school girls, they don't know you're guiding them. They probably think you're trying to.
It was guidance, guys. It was guidance here. Oh my goodness. Personality. I'm gonna ask you to describe your personality back in high school, and I'm gonna ask you your personality now and if it's changed. So what words come to mind to describe you back in 1997? What words come to mind?
Well, I think the talkative thing is
Chatterbox?
yeah. I used to talk a lot in class, I can tell you that. And I was always fun loving. I was always somebody who everybody talks to.
Okay.
And get along with everybody. It's hard to find somebody who you can say was not my friend or somebody I didn't relate to. Well, you might have disagreements, but naturally, I'm somebody who I don't keep malice. So if I have a problem with you, we have an issue. If tomorrow I realize you're not talking to me, I'm going to come talk to you. That's how I am. I'm that type of person. So I think I'm the same now.
Yes.
I think I'm probably after leaving Manning's. Naturally, as you get more mature and older, you get more outgoing, you'll develop on those skills that you had before. But I always had that outgoing personality, as in wanting to be out there.
Yes. You're an extrovert or an introvert? How do you get energy?
I would think I'm an extrovert.
You're an extrovert?
Yes. And as I said, going to Manning's at that time, naturally, some of the things you want to explore, you couldn't explore at the time.
Yes.
Because you're in an institution. But I think from then, there are certain things that will show in my personality that you're still seeing today. Persons will see and say, boy, you're the same from you were at school. But those who didn't know your personally now will probably have a different perception.
Understood.
Because if you see me over here, even though I talk a lot, if you just meet me or if you come and speak to me like just naturally, you would be finding me just talking everything like that. I'm somebody who observes a lot. So I try to observe my environment before I speak.
Understood.
So some people would have told you that they thought I was quiet. Because they weren't around me on a daily basis. But those who would be in my class or those who you're rapped on a daily basis would know the true doing and know that this is what doing was always like. So I think I don't think I've changed much since school. Probably more disciplined now than I was then.
Okay. So if you should look back on something that you used to believe that has evolved over the years, is there something you used to believe about yourself, Dwayne, that has changed since Manning's?
Something to believe that has changed.
Yeah.
I think about me, I've gotten more confidence.
Yes.
Than I was then. As I said, I was always somebody who used to do well in school. That is why. And I didn't have any fear like doing presentations or talking to a group of people. But as I got older, I got a lot more confidence with regards to how I perceive myself.
Yes.
And the things I think I can achieve.
Your capabilities.
My capabilities. So then I think I wasn't as confident, meaning there are some things I would want to do and think I can't do it. But now I think no matter what, I think I'm able to achieve it. So I'm going to try to do it. So I have that attitude now where I always want to try something.
Yes.
Well, then I wouldn't have tried certain things. But now I have that type of attitude where as long as I calculate it and think it can work, I'm going to try it.
What advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self?
If you
I could go back to my 20s.
And just have a little talk to him. What would I say?
Go back to my 20s, I would say, get focused from now and try to channel the energies in things that will make someone.
Yes.
I think I wasted a lot of time in my 20s.
Yes.
Yes, I was working, but I wasn't thinking far, So I was just going through the motions, partying out all the money that I get, just living by the day.
Yes.
So I think if I could give some advice to myself, then I would say focus, try to think about where the money is where you can achieve certain things out of life.
Yes.
Instead of just running around and
A
doing all
party.
kind of different things that would not contribute.
It's a
to
season though. It's a season, right? Because if you don't go through it, you know what happens when you get older? You wonder if you miss out.
Well, that is true. That is true. I don't think I miss anything when it comes down to that. So, a lot more focused now, as I said, and I'm trying to be even more focused. I think I can do more focus. So, trying to explore different business ideas also.
Yeah.
Because person have to understand again, politics will make you rich.
Say it one more time.
Yeah, politics does not.
You just get gray here.
Yeah, it's a more stress and everything else. So I'm trying to ensure that I set myself in a particular way that after politics I can still live.
Understood.
And be okay.
So we're gonna switch to a very serious question. And the question I have is to walk us through one of the most challenging seasons of your life so far. And what did you learn about yourself? And the purpose of this question is to help our community understand that everyone goes through different challenges and the purpose of that challenge and how they can go through that challenge. Just so you know the intention of it.
I will have a couple. I remember when I decided to do my masters. That was when I woke up, as I said, and decided I need to leave STC. I was there too long. So I started looking at job in the private sector. I started my master at the same time. So it was very difficult for me with regards to funding and that type of thing. So I was living by the month basically. So it was tough. But I would think the major challenge though was when after completing my master and still having this perception, they're supposed to get a big job.
Yes, absolutely.
That job was forthcoming and I decided to start my own business. This was with one of my other friends. He didn't come to sixth form, but he was with us in fifth form. His name is Alan God.
Okay.
And he's my business partner up to today. We have a business called Flexi Financing in Sav.
Yes.
And we started at 2010. I remember when we were starting, we actually, to get the capital to start, both of us sold our cars and we got a small loan. We gave up Dream Weekend that year. And so for that entire year, 2010, going into 2011, it was a very tough year, as in with regards to financing, but the satisfying part of it was that you were doing your own thing.
Understood.
And you were answering to yourself and you were building on something that you know should be able to work and reach a certain distance in the years to come. So that was a very challenging period. And then the other challenging part would necessarily have to be politics when I just was entering. Initially, after Raja passed away, there were different aspirants for the post. And at the time, based on the information that was reaching my party headquarters, I wasn't the preferred candidate based on that information.
Interesting.
But I knew that information was false. So I knew that there were persons pushing a different agenda.
Understood.
So I decided that I was not going to pull out and I was going to push for it.
Understood.
So we went into the selection and the rest is history when it comes down to that part. But the other day after the general elections in 2016, we had a parish council election where we lost 4 of the 5 parish council seats. Naturally, when you lose those seats, people start criticizing the member of parliament at the same time. As MP, I've taken full responsibility. I know that everything could not have been my fault. I just won a general 6 months ago. But naturally, how people are,
yes,
that the first point of
yes,
criticism will be the MP. I always remind persons that this situation happened before,
right,
in 2003, where we had lost 3 seats at a time when Dr. Blight was still minister of housing.
Right.
So I always use the example to tell people it has happened before.
Right.
But doesn't mean it's the ending of the world. And based on that, I came under a lot of pressure, especially from within my own party, where the seat was under scrutiny. But I decided to counteract all of that with just work. So I continued doing what I'm doing. I wasn't paying attention to the critics. And the criticisms got less and less as you went through. So we are hoping we have putting 4 new candidates in place for those particular seats. And we are putting in the work to ensure that when those elections come again, we can regain those particular seats. So I think that was a very pressuring time. But the type of person I am though is not to let things bother me like that. I just try to think of the way how to solve a problem.
Right.
So instead of worrying about what happened yesterday, It's about what I'm going to do tomorrow to correct what would have happened
That's
yesterday.
tough though, right?
So
that
that
takes a
is-
lot of self-discipline. That's why that's when I ask you, right? From the carry you back to the beginning of this when I said people, they're tough.
Yeah, yeah.
Your business is people, you know.
Exactly. And
For
it's
this
managing
role,
different personalities also.
right?
Dealing with different personalities every day.
Every day at different levels, different styles. Oh my God, the matrix is so diverse
Exactly.
to navigate that.
It is. It is. And you have to have the personality to do it also.
It feels like you do.
You have to have it.
Because even when you're talking through it, I feel no negativity and anger and disdain. You were like, factually, this is what happened.
This is what happened. That's exactly what happened.
I would
So
like
just
to
deal
say
with it.
that if I was in that seat and that happened to me, I'll be telling you about that thing very passionate. You know what I mean? So clearly, I'm not built for politics. What is the best advice you ever received from someone else?
Best advice.
That you pull on and you practice, and it's like a core of it.
Well, the best advice wasn't necessarily somebody who told me. It was
Yeah.
something I read.
Tell me.
Seek to understand before trying to be understood. It's one of the 7 habits of highly effective people.
Yes.
If you haven't read that book. If you haven't read it, read it.
Read it.
And that's one of the habits. And I learned that while doing my master's. It was the last book I read, and it was the highlight of my 18 months while I was there. And I think that if more persons will listen before trying to get their opinions out.
I remember what they want to say. Because they're not really listening, and they're such a
Exactly.
rehearse. What me I gonna say, what me I gonna say, what me I gonna say.
Sometimes you're saying the same thing and they argue and don't realize they're saying the same thing. Everybody trying to get their own point across. So that's one of the things I've always lived by. If I'm learning that, and I can repeat it, it says seek to understand before trying to be understood.
So we have 2 more questions left because the sun just shifted on me again. What does success mean to you?
Well, it means a lot because I want to be seen as a successful person. I want to see myself as a successful person.
What does that look like?
Well, it looks to me, naturally, wealth has to be involved in it.
Understood.
I'm not saying I need to be the most wealthy person in the world, but I would like to be living very comfortably.
Have resources so you can
Have
do
resources
things
to do the things I want to do when I want to do
and
them.
help who you want to help.
Exactly. But success also comes with the job that I'm doing. I want to ensure that when I leave this member of parliament position, there's a legacy there
Understood.
where persons can say,
Because
of
of
the
Dwayne.
influence of Dwayne Vaz, these things were done. And that's even more important to me than the first thing I mentioned. Because, as I said, I love what I do, and I want to ensure that persons can benefit directly from any programs or policies that I contribute to putting in place. So, trying my best. It's difficult now because my party is in opposition, and we would hope that we can regain government next time around, which will definitely provide more opportunities for me to instill that type of legacy in Central Westmoreland that I want to have. So that's a
Understood.
major thing with regard to success for me.
What are you most proud of so far?
The most proudest moment of being an MB.
Yes.
But I love my education programs, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And we have different segments of it. But one thing that I love going to every year and assisting with is the grants we give to college students
Yes.
and to the top boy and girl from each primary and prep school and to the top student from each high school. Also recently partnered with Heart, and we have 200 students now in an unattached youth program
Yes.
that we're doing. I'm a sports lover too. So every year we have an annual Dwayne Vaz football, netball and dominoes competition. From a school that I went to, I've built a brand new multi-purpose court you've seen down the back here.
Yes.
We have also done one at Petersfield and one at Landale Sports Complex, and we're about to do one at Froome Technical High School. For infrastructure, one of our major achievements is we have done a lot of community roads when we had a program a few years ago called the G program. And through that program, I've been able to fix over 15 community roads. You would know some of them in South, like you should remember like Sweetness Lane.
Yes.
I think you know Pentecost Lane.
Yes.
You should know Harmony Town.
Yes.
110 Lane. Those places we did through that program. We're currently fixing up all of Russia too. We can go over Russia now.
Where
Doing
that
through a
is so
JSF
in need.
And but the major road that would come under my tenure that I have to speak about, of course, is the Ferris to Macfield Road.
It's under construction now.
Almost done. But what I always say to persons, the role of an MP is the same in government and opposition. I've always said to the person, I can't understand that when the road wants to be fixed, you curse the MP, and when it starts fixed, you say it's because the other government in power. So I'm saying, if these resources were lobbied for,
yes,
then the resources would have gone somewhere else.
Right.
And it's through constant lobbying and developing even a good relationship with the minister in charge why that road was put on the program at that particular time. And so when people say, how are you going to take credit for something that is not your party in power? So I said, that means if your party is not in power, you don't need an MP then. But that's what I always say. But that is a major achievement for me and the constituency, because we all know it's the main road coming into Westmoreland from Montego Bay. And apart from that, other areas such as housing, we have a housing assistance program. It only assists with repairs though, but what we have been able to do, we had an ambition a few years ago. We wanted to build 5 houses for 5 needy residents every year.
Yeah.
But it was an ambitious start. We're able to do 1 per year, to be honest with you. So we have completed 4 already and almost with the 5th one now. But that is a major achievement for me, because to give somebody a key to go into a brand new house.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And just the joy that you see on the faces of these persons, it warms your heart and makes you want it more. So I'm saying that to say also that my Mannings people who want to assist with any funding for the constituency.
This is what Catchup is for?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Feel free to assist, because
how would they assist? How do they contact? What do they do? What's the logistics of assisting?
Well, what I'm thinking about doing is to do like a GoFundMe type of account where persons can add money to it. We'll ensure that transparency is there. You let them know the different things you want to do. This is the cost of it. And persons can sponsor different things. And would ask persons if they're sponsoring to, anytime we're doing the presentations, to ensure they come down to show that they were a big part of letting this happen. Because once persons do something, they need to be recognized. And I'm always big on recognizing persons who partner with us to get things done. Because you have to understand that everything cannot be done through government. You'll never have the resources to do everything.
Amen.
So we want to see how best we can assist different communities, especially persons listening, the communities that you were from, that you grew up in. If there is a particular need that can be assisted in it, they can either contact me now via Facebook or Instagram.
Dwayne Vaz.
Dwayne Vaz MP. There is also the via WhatsApp on 88744139. So you can contact me directly to let me know what are your concerns also. A lot of persons, even though you live abroad now, you might have genuine concerns based on the things you hear and see when you visit. So if we can assist in any way and we can partner to make it happen, then we would love.
A lot of us want to come back home, but safety is a concern.
Well, safety, if we can speak on it a bit so.
Go ahead.
As we understand, generally, a lot of persons are scared to come to Westmoreland.
Yes.
I remember back in the days we used to be afraid to go to Kingston.
I remember.
No person in Kingston don't want to come here. And it's a sad thing. The thing is though, it's worse than it was before, but this is not to the point where if you come and go about your regular life, you're going to be genuinely or directly affected by most of those things. Most of what happens normally is targeted and within groups. But saying that to say, we still need to find ways to cut down this type of criminal activity. So we want to put in different social programs. That is why we do the football. If you come to the football matches, sometimes the amount of people coming out because they don't have anything to do on a Sunday, and it keeps them occupied. A lot of these same persons who are involved in certain things, they will see them at the matches. Some of them even playing, you know. The education programs also, because everybody are attracted to different things.
Right.
So if we want to get the youth involved, you have to think about educational programs, you have to think about sports.
Right.
You have to think about entrepreneurial programs also, because you have to try to challenge
the energy in a positive way.
In a positive way and in the direction they want to go. Because when you go into a community, you can't tell somebody what you're going to do for them. You have to listen what they want before you can really know what needs to be done in a particular area. So I would tell people to still come because all of us are still here, and we are not, as I said, directly affected by that. Sometimes it comes too close for comfort, though.
It does,
and that is why we have to work together to solve it. And staying away isn't helping the situation. So you have to come and try to contribute as best as you can.
I would say for your GoFundMe, you partner that with a website that will do the transparency in terms of the projects, the money collected, how you're allocating it, and that's a good way. The website will just be the partner to that, because their biggest concern is the transparency of where the money is going and is it actually making an impact. That same website, you house the photos and everything as things get executed, and then people want to be some part of something that is meaningful, right? I agree. So I would say that would be a way to go through it. And the last thing I want to ask is, when you die, what do you want us to remember the most about you? Many years.
About dying, but
it's happening on my youth.
But if it's one thing, we're sure. What
do you want us to remember? When all is said and dust and the dust settles, what do you want us to remember?
I want to remember that Dwayne was a genuine, caring, and fun-loving person. And in politics, I want to remember as the greatest member of parliament to ever pass through Central Westmoreland.
Yes. With that, I'm going to close Catchup. Thank you so much for taking time to meet with me here at Manning's and doing this interview and participating in this project.
It was a pleasure being here. It was a pleasure.
With that, I'm going to close. So thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Catchup. Please like our videos, please share our videos, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with weekly episodes of Catchup. Have a fantastic day, guys. Bye-bye.